What exactly are we dealing with when it comes to the case of New Hampshire teen Abigail Hernandez, who went missing for 9 months and mysteriously reappeared last weekend? At first, the family and law enforcement enlisted the help of the media. Now, though, they don't want to answer any questions. It's a classic face-off between the right to privacy and the right to know. When then 14-year-old Abigail Hernandez first disappeared last October, law enforcement held daily briefings.
I just wanted to give a quick update.
Search teams combed the woods and river streams for weeks, looking for any sign of the missing teen.
Thank you for coming. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's been over 6 weeks since Abby Hernandez.
The puzzle deepened 2 months into the investigation when Abby's mother received a letter.
There's a new lead now, a mysterious letter from the girl to her parents.
But the contents of that letter were not made public, leading some to question whether she was abducted or a runaway. Then, this past Sunday, a sudden end to the search.
New Hampshire teenager who vanished 9 months ago is back home tonight.
Instantly, everyone clammed up. How did she get home? Why was she wearing the same clothes? Where'd she been? In a statement posted to bringabbyhome.com, supporters say they won't be commenting, writing in part, "This is still very much an ongoing law enforcement investigation, and no details can be released that could jeopardize the integrity of their work." But local news outlets say the town wants answers. Then, last night, a new twist.
Right now, police are searching for this man.
Even this new detail lacks context. Is there a kidnapper on the loose? Does the family's right to privacy trump the public's right to know? And that sketch looks like about 50% of America's how helpful that's going to be. I mean, I realize we've been talking about this all day, Marjorie and I, and, you know, there's a possibility that she was a kidnap victim, that she was a sexual assault victim. We aren't looking for the detail, the specifics about that. But I think everybody, the townspeople, the media, has a right to know whether there is a potential kidnapper or rapist on the loose and whether other people should be concerned. It's a matter of public safety. So for them not to say anything about that matter strikes me as wrong. I put a call in today, didn't get anything back. I mean, somebody knows, the girl knows, the family must know. It's a simple statement of fact is all they need to say. We are looking for a man that A, abducted Abby Hernandez, or that she voluntarily went with. Either it's you know, or she was in the basement the whole time. You got to say something.
Right. Well, you know, maybe they don't know. I mean, the one thing that's occurred to me is that maybe this girl is somehow just not telling them anything. Yeah. So that's the one thing I can think of. I mean, I find this story so confusing. I have all the same questions from the piece. I mean, it's sort of fascinating. And the problem here, right, is that the family really used the media to get out the word. So I think your right to privacy sort of gets a little hazy when you've been using the media for so many months to get out word. You know, I don't know if we have a right to know, but of course there's natural curiosity. And I agree with you. There's, you know, people have kids out there. They want to know if there's something going on here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think this is a black and white case. You know, to me, they have the law enforcement has an obligation. The idea that it's going to impede the investigation is ridiculous. If she was abducted, does that impede the investigation? If she wasn't, if she was away with some man that she met on the internet or a boyfriend, does that impede the investigation? This is part of a trend, I think, where government doesn't tell you what you should know and what you have the right to know, and they decide we're not going to talk about it, whether it's some political story or it's some law enforcement story. And when they say impeding the investigation or to protect the confidentiality or the privacy of the victim, I say they're probably covering their rear ends. And if they're, and in this case they may not be, but they absolutely. How do you know if you live in that town whether your daughter should be afraid of this guy coming back and taking her? So it's crazy. Yeah.
I think we're in violent agreement here.
Well, we don't know Dan might.
No, well, maybe Dan will go in the different direction. I am so puzzled that there isn't a grand jury investigating what's happened in this. Why hasn't that been convened to look into it? And again, when the public was not just actively involved in this, but a significant amount of public resources were adopted. So there is a public interest in this. You have to wonder, because there seems to be no concern on the part of the family, if this kind of goes back maybe generations, where when a girl gets pregnant, she disappears for 9 months and then returns after the baby's born, baby's up for adoption. I don't know if that's happened, but maybe somebody should disabuse me of even wondering about that kind of thing. This is clearly a matter that's of public interest, and the family is getting terrible advice if they are being told you can keep this private.
Well, I was thinking, how can I disagree?
I think you can figure out a way.
I really can't. I really can't.
So unlike you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a couple of things around the edges that I'll disagree with. One is that, yes, the family used the media, but Abby Hernandez didn't use the media, and she's the person that we're talking about now. She's a minor, and I think her right to privacy does trump the public's right to know. However, as you and everybody has said, there are certain things that the police need to say about, was there a kidnapper? Do people need to be concerned about this? That's basic information that the public does have a right to know. When it's not getting out, it's not right.
I agree. And clearly somebody knows what the truth of the matter is here.